Hello, creative mind. Welcome back to the channel and happy new year to you all. Today, let's make this simple corset dress, and we'll be needing 2 yards of fabric, or if you're on the bigger size, you'll be needing 2.5 yards of fabric, your lining, your interface, and a fiber. If you don't have a fiber, you can use your wording as well. I use the wording for this pattern. So to start with, we'll be drawing a line for our starting point, which will serve as our shoulder. And from the shoulder line, we'll be taking our shoulder measurement divided by 2, and then we'll come down by 1 inch for our shoulder slope. And after which, whatever we have on the shoulder line, we are going to replace that on our armhole line. You're going to place your armhole divided by 2. You can get this by dividing your bust measurement by 6 plus 1.5 inch. Now we're going to connect it to the shoulder slope. And then from our shoulder, we're going to take from shoulder to your bust point, which is our horizontal line, your shoulder to your bust point, to your under bust, and to your waist and your hip line. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side so that you have a straight line. So now let's connect this line together. After this, we are going to take our neckline measurement. This is just to get our, what's it called, the armhole. It's not necessarily needed for this style we are working with. We don't need a yoke for it, so it's not necessary. So now let's place our nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, which is in place of our dart. Our dart, which is our nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. And then you're going to place it from the bust point downwards to the hip line, and then connect the line just like this. So now let's label this bust point, under bust, waistline, and the hip line. So on the center front, I'm going in by 0.7, which is 3/4, half and quarter, 1/8. And then on the side front, we are using 1 inch. And I'll replace same thing on the waistline and on the under bust line. I'm coming down by 1 inch. I'll come down by 1 inch on the under bust line and extend the line towards the 1 inch. So now you're going to use a curve ruler to connect it from that 1 inch up to the straight line we have up there, just like this. Now this is what we have. So now we're dividing after the neckline what we have on the shoulder line. We'll divide it by 2, and on the midpoint you're going to connect it back to your dart line, just like this. I use a pencil so that I won't get it confused, so that you won't get confused. So now we're going to divide our armhole by 2, and then we'll come in by half of an inch. But this is absolutely not necessary, because at the end of making this dress, I wish I had just increased it outwardly. I mean, instead of coming in by half of an inch, I would rather go out by 1.5 inch or 2 inches. So if you want that point on your bust line, if you get what I mean, that pointy part of that dress, of the sleeve, to come out, you just go out by 1.5 or 2 inches, and that will make it perfectly. This is my first time of making this style, that's why I did it that way. So now the difference between my half length, front half length and back half length is 1.5 inch, and I'm just placing it under my underbust line. So I'll just connect it slightly, I mean about 2 inches away from the dot line, just like this. Now for my neckline, I came down by 8 inches. So from that point, I'm taking that on the both side of this um that line. So I'm just going to connect it slightly like this. I'm taking half inch on both sides, half inch on both sides. So I just connect it just like this. And then I'm just going to extend that line upward. So this is what we have. So now I'm just going to, so that we can have our, I mean, our neckline will not be shortened after cutting it. You're just going to place it on each other. Make sure the dart is covering each other so that at the end of the day, we don't have that there again, just like this. And now we can work with our neckline. So from where I pointed, which is half, and if you are doing your own, I mean the 1.5 inch I told you to go out, you're going to connect from there to your preferred center front, to the center front of whatever you want to use for your neckline. Here I use 8 inches, about 8 inches. So you can use 9 or you go up by using 5 or 6, is whatever you like there. So now I'm just going to split this side dart and then place it on it just like this so that I can take my body measurement. So now we already take our bust measurement there, and I'm going to replace the dart, which is 1 inch. Now on the waistline, I'm taking my waist measurement divided by 2, then you replace the dart, and then you add your sewing allowance. I'm using 1.5 inch for the sewing allowance. On your hip line, you're also going to place your hip divided by 4. Your you replace the dart taking, and then your sewing allowance. Don't forget to add your sewing allowance. Now we're going to connect those lines together. We're going to use your hip curve to connect from the waist to the hip. So this is what we have for the front. And watch carefully where I cut. We are cutting out the dart. So this is what we have. We have 2 points for the front part. If you want it more snatching, you can add another dati, but I just want it to be okay, to be free to wear. I want it to be corset, but not corset. So now if you want to follow the inspiration we are working with, which has the, what I'm saying on the hemline, that kind of cuts out on the hemline. This is what you will do. From the center front, you're going to come in by half of an inch, and then from that half of an inch on the side front, you're going to take upward 3 inches or 4 inches, depending on how you want it to go up. Then by the side of this you're going to take 3 inches also, and then connect it just like this. But I don't want this on my own design, so I just skip that part. So now let's drop the back part. Now we're going to take our measurements, which is from our shoulder line to our bust point, under bust, our waistline, and then the hip line, and also our shoulder measurement divided by 2, and then we'll come down by half 1 inch rather for our shoulder slope, and then connect it towards the neckline. Now we're going to take our armhole measurement divided by 2, and you place it there. You reconfirm it like this and then connect it. So now I'm coming down by 9 inches for the back neckline, and then I'm placing my bust measurement divided by 4 plus the sewing allowance. Now we're going to place our dart, which is our nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 right there. Don't forget, I've not, I didn't put a zipper allowance on it. I want to do this in case of you want to use what's it called, eyelet on your own. So I'll later include the zipper allowance. Now I'm taking half inch on both sides and then connect it. You should connect yours upward up to your neckline, because at the end of the day I will sew it up to the neckline. So now I'm placing my waist measurement divided by 2, and then I'll replace the dart intake and then my sewing allowance. My hip line divided by 2 plus the dart intake and then sewing allowance. It will go on itself. So now we're going to connect these lines together. So I just want to give the neckline a round shape. I mean, so I'm going to use my curve ruler to do this. I'm just going to place a curve ruler like this and then connect it just like this. So now for the zipper allowance, I went ahead to add pattern. This is why it's so good to cut on pattern. So I'm adding 2 inches to my zipper allowance. I'm just going to, so now let's eliminate the zipper bulging. I'm coming in on the waistline by 0.75, which is 1/8, and I'm just going to connect that slightly to the hip line and slightly upward to the um, neckline. So this is what we have. I'll cut this out. So now for, I don't want my side to be very sharp on like this, and I'm just coming in by 3 inches, and then I'll connect it just like this to give it that round effect. And we're just going to cut this out. So now for still zipper bulging on this waistline, I'm just going to label this waistline. On this waistline, I'm going up by 0.705, and you're just going to connect it towards the dot line just like this. And then you're just going to place it on each other just like this, and you tape it down. By this doing, you have eliminate every zipper bulging on it. So this is what we have for the back pieces. And now you can as well just trim out the darts on the back pieces so that you can have two pieces for it. But I'll still sew it down and when I'm sewing it, so I don't have any reason to cut down. While cutting on the fabric, add half of an inch to the length and half of an inch on the shoulder to join it. And this is what we have. If you have watched to this point, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the sewing video. Thank you so much for watching. So I went ahead to cut out the lining also, and this is what we have. I'll see you in the sewing video. Bye guys.